Hi, this is Jay Norris, author of Mastering the Currency Market and host of Live Market Exercise at Clovernest.com. Welcome to the report. Before we get to it, I need to remind you that trading futures and Forex is a risky endeavor and not suitable for all investors. The charts we're looking at are real-time market snapshots and may not be replicated going forward. First market we're looking at is the Australian US dollar. Boy, that's one big pennant. I feel like I'm a broken record, essentially saying odds are that it goes into the pennant, it comes out of the pennant same way it did going into the pennant. However, that's not a lock. That's for sure. That's for certain. So the longer you stay in here, the more dangerous it becomes, I would imagine, for the bulls. Boy, so many of these currencies, time-wise, are coming to the end of time cycles that usually moves in the currencies the last 2 or 3 months, and then that's about it. Same thing with sideways action too, and this market's just been sideways for a long time, so something's going to give here, and unfortunately, you just don't know, and you sure don't want to get caught leaning on a move like that, because it could be big, because I imagine it's going to be, for the most part, technical when it comes out of there. And the market's just kind of waiting around now, and there's no news that's big enough to get it out of that range. So it could be pretty big when it rolls out of there. And no guarantees which way it's going to come out of there. I've been a cheerleader for the bulls for a while now, and it's not going anywhere. Here's the euro. I put a 66% retracement in here. You can see, actually, let me go to a weekly. You can see what I have here. This is the retracement of the last downstroke here. And given you're still below that 66% retracement right now, you could arguably say the primary trend is down. You can see the long-term trend is down too. So the price pattern overall is a bearish price pattern going back to the past couple of years. What's significant about this now is you are right at the 66% retracement. You couldn't get a weekly close above that level back in 2010. You had a pretty good sell-off. This actually was a 50% retracement of itself here, roughly a little more than that, but it held on that the bottom there. In GAN, they call this the pipe. They call that that retracement the pipe, and they call it the pipe because it's kind of two-way. You have a two-tier range here. Same thing with the pipe, goes one way and go the other. So that's why they call it that. Doesn't matter, but it's significant. And what's significant also too is that you've got this confluence of resistance up above the November high and the trend line here. So, well, here's another one where you're getting between a rock and a hard place. And in the euro now, unlike the Aussie, the long-term trends are down. And this is still a market where the monthly is considered down when we look at our directional lines also. So when I put the directional line on there, not to clutter the chart too much, there you go. You can see that monthly. If I turn off the other ones, the weekly and the daily, you're left with the monthly. So the monthly directional line is right there. So, and that's the November high also. So there's some you're between you're betwixt and between on this guy. Here's your weekly euro chart. So you can see you definitely have some structure right up above. So you're really going to want to home in on this trend line on the daily here, on the short term. There it is. You can see a little better. And then look, guess what? You had a shooting star today. So that's what you look for if you're a counter trend trader for potential setups on those lower time frames. Now you have a shooting star on a 66% retracement. You come down to maybe a 240-minute chart here, and you start to see a potential change of direction on the 240. So this is what the trend traders look for, and this is what we find very interesting. So you went from having a nice up market. We said 140, and then I was even saying 143. Well, you had a shooting star today, so you had some indecision. So this is very interesting too. All of a sudden, when you look at it from that higher time frame perspective, it doesn't look all that bullish anymore, does it? Here's the dollar, the pound dollar, and there's another one where, look, you're on that monthly level. Here's the long-term trend line in there. Now, yes, you have This is a higher low. This is a higher low, but you know what? This is a lower high. This is a lower high. Now you kind of match that. So you have potential big double top here. So, you know, nothing's guaranteed in this business. And here's another one where essentially you're in a pennant. You know, this guy, I guess, could go either way. So, in a very, very fascinating place here. Either way, we're going to get a big move. And boy, that's what we'd love to see. And it looks to me like when it kicks off, it'll be technical in nature. Let's go to the chief next. That's the weekly. You can see it's down pretty good. Here's the chief potential big rounded bottom in place. I've been saying that all along. You know, your daily's up, and what's going on your 240 here? 240 trying to kick up. I think the you know, that 240 is significant if you get a shift. But you know what? Let's keep it simple. Bottom line here is your daily's flat and your weekly's down in the Swissy. Let's go to the dollar yen here. Boy, I'm still stuck on that euro. That was a pretty interesting chart. Here's dollar yen. Here's another one where you know, it's been in a sideways range overall for a long time now, and markets get restless when they get in ranges like that. You know, I gotta think it's kind of dangerous. These tight ranges, definitely one like this you tend to avoid because you could go either way. You know, so very, very fascinating situation. Short-term trend on the daily, however, is up despite that big shooting star there. It hasn't backed down any, so you're just right in the middle here. Here's very interesting chart also. You know, usually this guy's the leader. Usually you're pretty confident of the trend to this market, but when you look at the stock market, the trend line is in jeopardy here. Arguably you could, you know, well, you're still on the trend line. Remember, trend line should be drawn with crayons, not sharp pencils. If we draw this trend line, see price hanging on there. But interesting though, isn't it, that not only you had a weekly shift, weekly change of direction anyway, but also on the first of the month you had that big down day on the first of the month. That was kind of something else. That meant a lot of money came out of that market. All the money coming in from the 401k and the ESOPs and everything, as much as that comes in around the first of the month, as we often see, as much money, more money must have come out to knock it down on the first of the month. So this is all a bit of a tell here. Also another piece of the puzzle, that, you know, it's not guaranteed that that the Aussie rally will continue on, or in the Euro rally, and then the pound also. Pound really topped out well too. So this is pretty fascinating business to me. You know, I'm not saying you're at a crossroads here, because, you know, we have to take it one day at a time. We have to wait for a candle to close beyond a certain level before you can make a decision in direction, in defining direction. But for now, very, very interesting place. You know, you could be at a crossroads here for so many of these markets. Let's go back to the Euro-US dollar and we'll wrap it up there. A 66% retracement of a long-term line is significant, and that's what you're looking at in the euro here. There it is. I'll go back to out to the weekly, and you can see it. There's the look-see we want to get at, and you know, a lot of resistance above, and you're on resistance. Go down to the daily. And there's that little spinning top there, little shooting star. Definitely some indecision on structure. So very, very fascinating. We'll see if you're in position for a correction here. And arguably the primary trend is still down. That's my whole point, showing you that 66% retracement. If you're below that 66% retracement, arguably, well, in Dow theory, that is, that according to Dow theory, the primary trend is down here. So stay tuned. Thank you very much. My name is Jay Norris, and we'll definitely be back with you tomorrow. Thank you.